Hey everybody, welcome back to the Block Party. I'm Captain Zeus. That there is the voices of, and we got another news update for you on the DCU, DCEU, and the future thereof. So, we did do a previous video, feel free to check that out, about some of the speculations that came out with James Gunn and Peter Safran going over some of their, I suppose, possible changes for the DCU, such as Batman Beyond getting canceled, Wonder Woman 3 getting canceled, and some other stuff. Now, we do got some major news that I know a lot of people are not too thrilled about. Let's be completely honest. You're not too thrilled about this. The first thing that we have, and that's really the main topic of this this video, is Superman. Our beloved Henry Cavill is not returning as Superman for the foreseeable future. So what we have here is, Peter Safran and James Gunn said they have the DC slate ready to go. There's major changes taking place, as we've already seen. At the beginning of 2023, we're going to hear more info on these first projects that are in the works for the new DCU. And among those slates will be a Superman movie that is going to be written by James Gunn, and it'll focus on the earlier part of Superman's life, so the character won't be portrayed by Henry Cavill. There's no director signed on at this moment. This isn't going to be another origin movie. That has been confirmed by James Gunn, and there are some sources saying that Superman will be working at the Daily Planet and he won't be in Smallville during this movie, which I think is fine, to be honest. Gunn also wrote on Twitter saying that he had a great meeting with Henry Cavill and were big fans and talked about a number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future. So we could see him return as the Man of Steel in the future as a different iteration of the hero, or as a completely new character entirely, but we can only be hopeful right now. I suppose we can thank The Rock for bringing him back just one last time. Just one last time.
It's been a while since anyone's made the world this nervous. Black Adam. We should talk.
Henry Cavill also went to Instagram to post his thoughts, saying that he was told to announce his return back in October because of the Black Adam end credit scenes, and this was prior to James and Peter's hiring, and the news isn't the easiest to handle or deal with, but he does respect the wishes of James Gunn and Peter Safran and understands that they do have a universe to build. So, I mean, overall, I know you're upset. I know you're upset, voices. I know you're a bit upset about it. I'll be honest, I'm not happy, but I am very intrigued on who they're going to cast as a younger Superman and how the future with Superman and Henry Cavill in the DCU is going to look, to be completely honest. With some other news, Gunn also replied to its tweet saying that he met with Ben Affleck as well because he wants him to direct a project. They don't know what yet, they have to find the right one, but he's also in the works to come back to DC, I guess, in one way, shape, or another. And he's also been in talks with Patty Jenkins as well, which maybe we'll have a different type of Wonder Woman movie. Maybe we'll have just another female-led movie. Who knows? I mean, I don't really know what her role could be. Ooh, Zatanna. That could be good. I'd be down to see that.
Yeah, Zatanna.
Get J.J. Abrams to produce it. That'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
I think that's solid. Yeah.
I think overall, I'm very torn. I'm hopeful for James Gunn's future because he's already got the 10 years planned out, and we know this guy is talented. We've seen his projects with Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad. I think doing this move, yes, isn't gonna make fans happy. I really am hopeful that this isn't the last time we see him as Superman. If they do the Crisis on Infinite Earths event, which is a possibility that they'll do to reboot the universe, it'll be cool to have him as an older Superman, or just another universe Superman to come in as his actual final performance. I'd be cool with that, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it kind of just boils down to the fact that it's the frustration that comes from him literally saying like, some of you guys aren't going to be happy. Like, if you look at, and I know we always do this, we always have to compare it to the blockbuster that is, well, the the lackluster blockbuster. I heard somebody say that. The lackluster blockbuster that is Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios, nothing after Endgame has been for fan service. And it's shown in how their viewership has been. Like there's so many different things. It's just like everything kind of fell short, and there wasn't anything that like really
There have
stood
been
out.
moments, but nothing like a specific project that was fan service. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of that has to do with when you have a streaming service, they had to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing so much content out, and they spread everybody so thin that stuff started looking really bad. She-Hulk.
I don't want to talk about that.
But when you look at, but I mean, where they started was good. Like WandaVision, solid. Loki was solid, and then even like Moon Knight. Moon Knight came back in. Moon Knight was pretty dope. So it's just like, but there was so many things in between. Oh, and Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night is an absolute masterpiece.
Oh my god.
Anybody that says otherwise,
it's a masterpiece.
Y'all can. I don't know. I don't really know. If
Y'all
you're a
need to
hater for
rethink your lives.
if you're a hater for that, you need to rewatch it and just go at it non-biasedly. But it's just the problem is Marvel is doing nothing that the fans want, and they haven't been. DC had the opportunity to do what the fans want, and instead they completely shot it out. I get it. It's a new like co-CEOs that are coming in. They want what they want for it. But at the same time, like all the old stuff that James Gunn has been posting, like all the old pictures of the DC stuff, like that stuff all gave us hope. And then this kind of shot it. So right now we're kind of looking at it like, okay, it's almost like you're hunting, you see something out there and you took the shot, it dropped, but you don't know if it was a buck or a doe. Because if it's a doe, you gotta run because it's illegal. If it's a buck, then you have food. So right now we're sitting in the stand like, what is it? And I want January to be great. However, I just feel like there were some assets in the previous I guess DC universe. I don't know.
I would say like DCEU just to be in a general aspect.
Okay. So, yeah. And then I guess we'll say like Gunn universe, like DCGU would be.
Well, it'd be DCU
universe now.
and then we have DCEU. I mean, that's a good separation of the two. That's what they're calling the new universe is DCU.
Okay. So the DCEU had really good assets. Now, granted, the guy that played Flash, Ezra Miller, shot himself in the foot. He needs to get thrown away like a hot piece of trash. Wonder Woman #2 was Garbo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they slated a third one. That's okay. If they do this and they build this, I do not want to see a Justice League for 3 or 4 years, and I just want to see solo films or occasional team-ups. I do not want to see a Justice League for a while because it's not necessary. If you're starting with a younger Superman, I think it would be cool. I mean, we just recently have been talking about the DC animated universe. The DC animated universe, how it started was really cool, and it was a very interesting take on stuff. Now, granted, they did a mostly team up to build the actual team, but like you had Superman was super gung-ho, wanted to like shoot everything and destroy everything in his sight.
Yep.
And he acted like a kid, which was kind of funny. And then Wonder Woman was like super warrior craziness. And I'm glad that they're not touching Reeves. I want Reeves to just do his own thing. I know that I saw some people posting and they're like, oh, James Gunn's just going to grab the Batman and make a universe.
He's confirmed saying that that's not happening too.
Yeah. Because, like, he just can't. There's no way. Like, You cannot take that Batman and be like, hey, let's throw a bunch of aliens into it. Like, no, we're not doing that.
That's not how it works.
That was way too realistic. Like, it'd be like if they tried to do the Justice League in Christopher Nolan's. Like, it just wouldn't work. It would
really
not
wouldn't.
work. It's too down to earth. Now, if they do Robin, it'd be cool. I just don't want his first name to be Robin.
Oh my god.
I
I like your first
only
name,
knock I have
Robin.
against the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises was so solid until they did that crap, and it was like, what?
It made no sense.
But that's okay. Bane was dope. Everything, that movie was a masterpiece, and that ended it with a terrible note. It was like if you went and saw an orchestra and they performed perfectly, but then the last guy messed up the last note. You're just like, why? Like, why did you
Everything
do
else was
that?
great except that
But then they
last
went back
note
in
there.
and reprised it. But then they went back in and reprised it with, like, you know, seeing Batman and Catwoman at the end, sitting at a table while Alfred was chilling. That was cool. Let's chill with that. But it's just the stupid Robin thing was so dumb. Okay, anyway, when it comes down to it, though, if they did something where it was like, okay, we see, like, this has to be a different type of Superman. This has to be, like, I need to see the difference between these two. Like, I can't put this Superman coming up next to Henry Cavill and, like, what's the difference? I can't. I have to be able to distinguish the difference. I don't know if they need to change the tone to make him the happy-go-lucky type of Superman, because
They probably will.
I mean, we
with
had the
James Gunn writing
Whedon
it.
Justice League, which the Whedon Justice League was so garbo, but that was like kind of happy-go-lucky Superman because he was jokey and hokey and stupid. But I don't know. I really, and I want Peacemaker. I want Peacemaker to be continuous, but I don't have faith in it. It's gonna
So
just get
I have
slated
faith
off.
in January. I think we're gonna. I don't think that we're gonna have like.
But how
over the
could they
top
keep?
new, like over the top excitement for it? But I think we're gonna be like, okay, this gives me hope, because from what I've seen, it's not like these are terrible moves. You know what I mean? Because it could also be just like what Warner Brother Discovery's like, hey, we need to do this, this, and this. If we're gonna do this, you know, there's stipulations that we're not seeing behind the scenes, obviously. And of course, I would love the Snyderverse to be canon, because it's such a great build-up. And even though it's not exactly what fans were wanting, or it's not exactly comic accurate in a lot of ways, I think that's what we needed. We need a fresh, retelling. A new version of stories we've already seen. That's why the DC animated universe was so successful. That's why the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so successful. Well, used to be so successful. Now it's just, anyways. But yeah, that's kind of what they need. They need to do something like that where you can reference a certain storyline, but you're gonna know it's different because such and such, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I'm back for it. I will wait until January to actually say if I'm excited or not. I'm so hardcore a DC fan.
I know. That's why we're doing this series.
This just like, I know, and this hit me like a stomach punch. Like, it knocks the wind out of you, and you're kind of like, but there's a possibility that you'll still win. So no.
He could come back. I mean, he's not
I-
completely out of the running yet. It's just he's not gonna be.
I know,
current
but see,
focus.
that's what even worries me more, because I'm like, is this gonna be a situation? Because I mean, granted, I will say this: 6 years to 7 years down the line, mark my words, somebody from the original 6 Avengers will be back into the thrall. Whether it's they pull RDJ from some secondary universe just for fun, because they will, because they're dirty money grubbing whores. But like,
It's just
something like that will happen. Or magically someone will go back in time and grab Captain America and bring him back forward in time. Something stupid. Something that's just like,
It
who wrote
happens in
this?
the
A
comics all
5-year-old?
the time.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, I know. And it's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be so sad when it does, because they died perfectly and they shouldn't be brought back. But that's them. And I don't want that to happen with Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is great. Bring him back as some type of superhero. I think it'd be kind of cool as Shazam. But probably people don't like that. So
I wouldn't
Who
want to
knows?
see him as a
if
Shazam.
Shazam is gone, well, Shazam's gone. All that stuff is gone.
You know what? We're going to have to wait to January to find out. So everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know if you're super thrilled or super sad about this news. And, you know, click that bell to get the notifications of our next DCU update. Because we're going to be following this pretty closely. We're pretty invested, to be honest. I didn't think we were as invested as
Very
we were.
invested.
But, yeah. So, I'm Captain Zeus. I'm not as depressed as the voices of over there. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.
Peace.